Thursday, October 19th, 2023. Board meeting at the Media Center. 172 Board of Education meeting is now on to work. Roll call. Mr. Gray? Here. Member Newton? Here. Vice President Guthrie? Here. Member Krueger? He's here. Member Colwell? Member Lee? Here. President Jenkins-Brown? Here. Roll call. Everyone please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item on our agenda, student and faculty recognition.
Good evening, board members, administrators, staff, parents, students, and community members. I have the esteemed honor and privilege of presenting our student staff recognitions this month. First, I would like to acknowledge our students of the month. This award is presented to students that work diligently on their classwork, displays kindness and consideration for their peers, and models the expectations and values of a Sandridge Wildcat. So please, if you are in the room, stand when I call your name. Dustin Calhoun Bivens. Ryan Holmes. Jalea King. Autumn Carlton. Hosian Excavaria. Karen Bahina, Shaquille Jackson, Victoria Sebastian, Naya Reyes, Demiola Samuel, Callie Bromley, Anthony Gallagher, Isabella Delpino, Alexander Moore, Mackenzie Carter, Kanila Anderson, and Nicole Stanberry. Thank you so much, students. So at each board meeting, we're going to honor all of the students of the month. However, we're going to only invite the students for certain grade bands. So tonight was our primary grade band. Absolutely.
Congratulations. Thank you.
And next, I would like to acknowledge our Sandridge Wildcat cheerleaders. Ladies, please stand. In addition to adding a bit of cheer and school spirit, in addition to adding school spirit and a bit of cheer to our games, school, and assemblies, they have raised over $12,000 in our Double Good fundraiser. That led to a profit of over $6,000 that will go to fund their program. So please, let's give a round of applause for that. So we have our wonderful Coach Motley back there, and we would like to award her with Staff Member of the Month for leading these ladies. Thank you so much for your hard work and dedication.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, ladies. Thank you. Job well done. We would like a picture of the students with the board members. Can we ask board members to go to the front with the students and staff who have been honored, and Jaime will take some pictures, and we'd like to put those on our website. Janelle said there's no sound. There's no moment stand, so if the board members be signing up, absolutely, go to the front, and students and staff that are being celebrated this month.
I do it now.
And Principal Polk, we want you up there. They're getting brand new uniforms. District is doing a max 50-50. Yeah, this may not be best because of the lights. Yeah, let's go to the green screen, because then if we go to the green screen, we have a background.
Thank you, board members and all invited guests. So this evening, I will be previewing our new website, scheduled to be launched on November 1st of this year. So our new website, we're excited to show our new website. The main page incorporates videos as well as pictures. Up at the top, we have our district homepage. We do have the capability of creating a second page, which I will be also creating shortly after we launch the district homepage. It will appear a little bit to the left, to the right of the district link, the home link. As we go down, you'll see our social media links. We ask that everyone that actually goes to our website, that they either familiarize themselves with the link and actually follow us. We do have our Facebook link, which you would have to have but this is our Facebook link to our page. Then you have our Twitter link or X link, and then which also mimics the Facebook link. And then of course we have our YouTube channel, which we also, and within our YouTube channel, we do incorporate all the videos that we have recorded at our school. We have our Wildcat Wednesdays. We have the past board meetings and the present streaming board meeting. So as you can see, we are streaming something right now for our current website, and then we have little shorts and principals documentation, principals messages. So if you go down to the menu area, this is where you can find a whole bunch of information about Sandridge Elementary School. You have a little tidbit about Sandridge, which would include a little history, and it also includes the community that we also service. Then we go down. Actually, I could actually show you the Board of Education page. Which highlights all the board members with an accordion style type of feature. And each person would have their own page. And I ask that in the future we can kind of get some bios from each and every one of you guys, so we can tell the community a little bit something about you, and you know, they can know how well you service the school. All types of resource links that's devoted to the Board of Education as well. Then we move right along to our departments, where we have the message from the superintendent or Office of the Superintendent, where there is a quick bio of the superintendent as well as a letter from the superintendent. And then we also incorporated the Twitter link. So if the community has followed us, they can, whatever message they display would also be displayed on that page so that people could see how well we're doing as well. Now going back, we include the nurse's office, buildings and grounds, food service, information technology, human resources, athletics, and the business office. They all have a kind of format where they show who's in charge of that department and a little tidbit about that department, as well as a reference links to any type of resources that is devoted to that particular department. Now, as we scroll down to the bottom, we have these little buttons here that will also bring you to the corresponding pages. We have the calendar, the school calendar, that's linked to our school district calendar. We can formulate as many calendars as we want. If we want a school calendar, a district calendar, and athletic calendar, we could all incorporate that within one general calendar, and find out like when basketball games are going on, cheerleading practice, and so on and so forth. Down here we have just general quick areas where people can find other resources. Student support services, Board of Education is also highlighted in here, Sandridge sports, videos. There's throughout this website, there are multiple ways of getting to a page, so that our users will not get confused as far as how to get to certain areas of the page. We have our student portal, parent portal, and staff portal. That is coming soon with our incorporation of Infinite Campus. once we get that up and running, the portals will be open for parents and staff and students to be able to access that portal. And then, of course, we have our news, just little areas where we can highlight events that are going on. The news and events are tied into our calendar. So here we incorporated a basketball message to anyone trying out for basketball, you know, to get your grades up so that way you can qualify for basketball. And then we have social events like Dress Up Day, which also highlights the kids and what they, you know, look like during Dress Up Day. And then, of course, message from the board saying that we have a board meeting. And then down at the bottom, we have our analytics. Once we get that, once we get that up and running, we'll have some numbers up there for the community to kind of gauge where we are academically. And I think that's a cool feature to display to the community. And then that takes us down to the footer of the page, which also indicates our address and other directories. Our staff directory does work, so if you click on here, it'll give us all the information about, you know, whoever you're looking for within the district as far as teachers is concerned. We are going to try to incorporate pictures as well, so that way, you know, we know who we're talking to when we call them up or email them. Any questions? Yes.
Will you have a district map on the website?
Actually, there is. Community, I think it's about us. Scroll down there and you have the map to, I'm sorry. Oh, scroll back up. Boundaries. And the boundaries highlights what communities that we service. Now this is an old map. I'm pretty sure there's a lot more colorful, and so this is based off of what information we pulled off of the old website. Absolutely.
So that it's a little more clear.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Yes.
I am very impressed. It's so much better than we had. User acceptance testing. So the launch is going to be November 1st. User acceptance testing should be prior to that. What is the drop dead date that you would like the user acceptance testing to be concluded? What I mean by that is the user's testing system.
Well, I've sent each and every one of you board members access to the to the actual website. So I invite you guys to go on there and try to break it. Try to see what we can do. You know, what we can do to make it better. You know, and any and all advice is accepted. So, and trust me, whatever you want on there, we can put up there. So, as long as you guys go up there and, you know, get on the website and try to find out what other information that the community would love to have, and I could put that up there. Mm-hmm.
Are there any other questions? Superb job.
Oh, thank you very much.
I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge some of the students who did just arrive. Were these part of the cheerleading?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, would you please?
If possible, before we leave, can we have another picture?
We
with-
can, absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Let's move on. Next item on the agenda, discussion to sell John Deere lawnmower for $1,000.
Yes. So a local farmer has asked to purchase our John Deere rider mower. The district purchased the mower in 2005 for $29,000. At that time, mowing decks and other accessories are included, and Mr. Hayes has the original documents. It needs several repairs and doesn't function properly or safely. The repairs that are needed are replacement hoses, leaks, it leaks oil, the drive belt, the safety switch kit, the carburetor is flooded, new glow plugs for the ignition system, blades are worn, new air filters, new diagnostics of the motor. Roger Reuter has offered the purchase of $1,000. He's a local farmer, and he owns the land that surrounds our district to the north and east. The sale and removal of the mower will give the maintenance department more storage room in the garage for district property, which is much needed. And also C&T Lawn and Landscaping is under contract to mow our grounds on a weekly basis. Industrial Appraisal manages our assets. We've spoken with them about this matter. This lawnmower has outlived its life expectancy, and it would cost entirely too much money for us to repair it. So we're going to depreciate it in the system. Once you have the asset tag, you have to properly depreciate it and to dispose of it through the Illinois State Board of Education's website. And we will do that. We will bring back an action item next month for the board to accept the $1,000. That money goes back into the maintenance department's line item for where we would buy supplies. Are there any questions?
Yeah, so we'll assess that assets issues.
Industrial Appraisal. They manage all of the district's assets.
What was that?
They come out on an annual basis. The lawnmower is from 2005 and it's 2023. So it's 18 years old. It doesn't work and we don't use it at all.
Okay. Yeah, the bottom line is the lawnmower doesn't.
It doesn't work.
All right, it's 2025. Okay. All right. Any further questions before we go on to the next item? Moving on to second one on the item. May I have an approval of the board minutes, August committee of the whole, August special board meeting, August board meeting.
I'd like to actually vote on those separately.
Okay. May I have an approval of the board minutes for August committee of the whole?
I move to correction that actually needs to be made on that August board minute meeting. I think it's 8.1.
I'm sorry, did you say August board meeting or August committee of the whole? Because
You're
we're on
doing
August
7.1. It's all right.
Right, but you said that you wanted to do this separately, so I said August change.
Oh, you're not doing the entire consent agenda.
You said that you wanted to do it separately.
7.5.
You said you wanted to do it separately, right? I said August committee of the whole, August special board meeting, August board meeting. You said, maybe I misunderstood. Did you want to do that separately? 7.1?
So I thought you were calling for the entire consent agenda to be.
No, I knew that you were going to interrupt that, so I wouldn't have separately. Okay, I got it. So we're gonna do it separately, 7.1. Is there anything, did you want that separately?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so August change, committee of the whole, is that something that you want to
No,
discuss?
the board meeting.
So we have a motion to approve, can I get a second? discussion? August, there is approval, motion approved for short minutes for August, committee. Moving on to August special board. May I have a motion to approve August special board meeting? I move to approve the August special board meeting. I'm sorry, we did not. May I have a vote on the change of the committee as a whole? You're correct. May I have a vote?
Agree. Abstain.
Lee?
Yeah.
Yes.
Colwell.
Yes.
Krueger.
Yes.
Can everyone remember to speak in their mics? Sorry.
Vice President Guthrie. President Jenkins.
Yes. Okay, and I just received notice that
Krueger says yes.
approval of the board minutes for August committee of the whole has been.
So there was a correction that was supposed to be made on those board meeting minutes. There was a error stating that I did not agree to vote on the payroll. And I actually did agree to vote on the payroll. So my vote was a no, printed, it should have been a yes.
This is for the August special board meeting.
Special board.
Right. So correction has been noted. Right, so that means that, so. Okay, let's approve this. Okay, all right. So let me change, so I'd like an approval, of the August special board meeting with correction.
Yeah, there's nothing changing on the special board meeting.
There was
We
the
can go
regular
ahead
The
and
board
vote.
meeting, okay,
That's what the regular board.
Yes, I move to approve the special board meeting minutes.
Okay, yes, Krueger.
Yes. Yes.
Member Gray. Abstain. Member Colwell.
yes.
Vice President Guthrie.
Yes.
President Jenkins.
Yes, and I think what we need to do is remember to pass our mics down. It sounds like I'm getting a note from Mr. Roosevelt. Remember to pass the mics down so we can record them.
Member Newton.
Yes,
Yes.
Majority of vote has been received for special board meeting, August board meeting. That's it. Next on the agenda is the approval of the payroll for $377,000. So this will be September board minutes. It's not on this agenda. but-
All you have to have is approval of minutes.
Okay. All right, may I have a motion to approve September board minutes?
I move to approve the September.
Lee?
Member Gray? Abstain. Colwell?
Yes.
Vice President Guthrie? Yes. Member Krueger?
Yes.
President Jenkins?
Yes.
Oh, wait.
So the September board minutes have been. Moving on to our next line item, approval for payroll for $377,530.63.
So,
Second,
I second.
roll call.
Member Newton?
Yes.
Member Krueger?
Yes.
Vice President Guthrie? Yes. Member Colwell?
Yes.
Member Gray? Yes. Member Lee? Yes. President Jenkins?
Yes. Approval of the payroll for $377,530.63. Next on the agenda, we have an approval of all bills for payment of $146,952.75. Have a motion.
I move to approve, all bills for payment.
Second,
Second.
roll call please.
Member Colwell?
Yes.
Member Lee? Yes. Member Vice President Guthrie? Yes. Member Gray?
Abstain.
President Jenkins?
Yes.
And Member Krueger?
Yes.
We have an approval now for the bills for payment of $146,900. Next on the agenda is the approval of the personnel report. May I have a motion?
Can we have a discussion? What is this person's first name? Tracy.
May I have a motion?
I move to approve the personnel report.
Second.
Roll call please.
Member Krueger?
Yes.
Member Colwell?
Yes.
Member Newton?
Yes.
Member Gray? Abstain. Member Lee? Yes. Vice President Guthrie? Yes. President Jenkins-Brown?
Yes. Right, so we do have approval of the personnel report.
Yeah.
We're ordering the table once. I apologize.
All right, next on the agenda is the approval of the treasurer report. We have a motion to approve the treasurer.
I approve.
Second,
I'll second.
roll call.
Member Lee? Yes. Vice President Guthrie? Yes. Member Newton?
Yes.
Member Gray?
Abstain.
Member Krueger?
Yes.
Member Colwell?
Yes.
President Jenkins?
Yes. Personnel report has been approved. Next on the agenda, the treasurer report has been approved. Next on our agenda is line item 8, motion to approve the board policy revision 2.22, Board of Education meeting procedure.
Discussion.
Okay, before we vote on that, we're gonna have a background on that.
Okay, so when board members are not attending board meetings, the previous policy stated that they would notify the secretary at our September board meeting and committee of the whole. The lawyer, John Fester, rewrote the policy and indicates that board members must contact and notify the president in writing, and he further indicated what the reasons are that would allow a board member to participate in a meeting remotely and have voting privileges, which basically if you have an emergency or if a board member is ill or if they have to work. If a person is on vacation, they can participate in the meeting, but they don't have voting privileges. I know that there was some discussion regarding this in September. The board is now taking action on the draft that legal has written. According to the board's attorney, John Fester, I asked him a question at 6:10 p.m. We revised policy 2:22, which he knows because he did it for the board. I said, does it have to sit for 30 days before action? We reviewed in September and discussed in COW, and now there's action. And he says, unless it is a locally adopted policy, wait time, no, there is no wait time. Out of a courtesy for board members, whenever there are substantive changes and you are completely changing the intended language written by press, and it might require a lot of discussion or interpretation or having your lawyer present, it is advised but not required that a policy would sit for 30 days. It doesn't require a lot of thought. It makes sense to notify your president because we have to do that. This is the business meeting of the board, and we cannot have that meeting unless we have a quorum of 4 people present. So the last couple of months, it's been a little shaky as to whether or not we would have 4 people. And so this policy is in place just to make sure that the board can conduct the business of the board at a monthly meeting by notifying the president, and then added in that language also because last month the board voted to have, or 2 months ago, we voted to have a separate committee of the whole, and then we didn't have great attendance at that meeting. The lawyer further added in the policy 2:22 that the district would agree for anything that required action on any items that are $25,000 or more, that we would bring those, if the committee of the whole meeting is the same day, it's going to be discussion on day 1, and then month 2, it will be action. So he added that language to protect the district's interests from having to vote on items that they were just learning about the hour before the meeting. So that kind of explains item number 8, and then I gave you a little background how 8 and 10 are linked together. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion?
According to this new policy that you wrote, his verbiage was request for approval. Can you explain that, what that means and how that works?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
In the new policy, it says that request for approval. Can you explain what that means and what that looks like?
Yes. So for example, if we wanted to purchase a new gymnasium floor and we came to the meeting and we talked about we're going to purchase a new floor for the gymnasium and the cost is $135,000. The board would receive information. For example, if it were tonight, you would receive the information in the committee of the whole meeting first, but you would not take action that same night. The information that requires, if it's not an emergency or if it's not just your day-to-day handling of your business, like things on your consent agenda, you would have 30 days to ask additional questions, and then I would get the follow-up information if there were questions from the board, and then you have like 30 days to ask whatever questions you want, and you would take action the following month. So motion to approve hardwood floors in the gym, and then you get the information month 1, and then you take action on month 2. And so that's kind of what that looks like.
Any other questions?
I do.
Okay.
So, actually, I'm looking at this. Okay, I'm looking at the September meeting minutes, and I don't see any discussion around this, motion. Neither do I see who actually directed the attorney to write this policy. Was this a board action that we voted on to move him to actually write the policy? I don't see that anywhere.
So in your board's policy, a superintendent or the board president can request for legal to write a policy, and I received the directive from the board's president to have legal revise the policy, and we did discuss this extensively in our committee of the whole. When you take minutes, you don't have to write down every single thing. You kind of just discuss the gist of it, but there was lengthy discussion at that meeting.
And that was not a voting meeting. Now, where are you seeing that the board president can direct the attorneys? This is
I'll
a
get
board
that to you
action.
on Friday as part of the Friday update. I'll scan you a
Yeah.
copy of the policy.
I have never heard of a board taking action via email without the entire board agreeing and voting on any action.
It's legitimate. I'll scan you a copy of the policy. You're welcome.
Okay, any further questions? Discussion? All right. May I have a motion to approve the board policy revision? I'm sorry.
I move to approve the board policy revision
to that.
to judge.
Second? Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Vice President Guthrie? Yes. Member Lee? No. Member Colwell?
No, thank you.
President Jenkins?
Yes.
You have 3 noes and 4 yeses. Motion carries.
Motion carries. Next on the agenda, motion to approve, yes, may I have a motion to approve the threat assessment plan?
Discussion?
Threat assessment plan.
Can you discuss what that is to the public?
So we've already discussed this in the committee of the whole. And basically, on an annual basis, the district has to submit a threat assessment plan to the Illinois State Board of Education. Anytime your students and staff are in danger, you have to have an exit plan, and a copy of the threat assessment plan is loaded in board docs for you to read it. And then if you have further questions, if you email them to me, I'm happy to answer your questions as part of the Friday update. We did discuss this in great length
Yes.
at the committee of the whole.
Yes.
But it's basically a plan to move your students out. So if someone is going to bomb your school, if there's a fire, anything that requires me to evacuate, I have to assess the level of the threat, and then we have to work with our local police department and the fire department to safely exit the building.
Okay. May I have a motion to approve the threat assessment plan?
I move to approve that
Second?
assessment plan.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Yes. Member Krueger?
Yes.
Member Gray? Yes. Member Newton?
Yes.
Member Colwell?
Yes.
Member Lee? Yes. President Jenkins?
Yes. Okay, motion carried. Next on the agenda, motion to approve eliminating a separate a separate committee of the whole approval of board.
It's motion to approve eliminating a separate committee of the whole and approval of the committee
Okay.
of the whole and
Gotcha.
the BOE meeting on the same day.
Gotcha. All right, may I have a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
Second?
Krueger seconds.
Roll call, please.
And can I add why? I can actually
No.
add a comment.
No,
Yeah, I
we're,
can add
we're,
a comment.
we're voting right now.
Yes, but I wanna actually,
We're voting right now.
I know, and I get to add a comment as well. The reason why it's a no is because no matter what we do, we should have an opportunity to review that information prior to, no matter what dollar amount it is. In order to vote on anything, we need time to actually review it and not be present the information 2 days before. It's just not enough time.
Okay, so there's two. Anyone else have discussion? Okay, we're right in the middle of a vote, so that typically does not warrant a discussion. So can we continue? A vote, please. Vote, please.
Yes. Member Lee? No. Member Krueger?
Yes.
Member Newton?
Yes.
Member Colwell?
No.
President Jenkins?
Yes. 4-3, motion carries. Next on our agenda, motion to move the November board meeting to November 9th, 2023. May I have a motion, please? But a motion to move it. Motion. May I have a motion?
I move to move the November board meeting to November.
Second?
I second.
Okay, now discussion. Any discussion?
I'm gonna say for the purpose of our public, why are we moving that meeting?
All right, so our meeting, our regularly scheduled meeting is going to be November 16th. That is the meeting, that is the III meeting, III conference that we're going to be attending. All of us were invited to that. Hopefully all of us will be attending. So we had to move that. Now, the meeting could have gone to November 2nd, the week prior, but at the committee of the whole, ones that were there did state that November 9th would be good. But if there's further discussion, I'd be happy to entertain it.
Actually, the joint annual conference is November 17th through the 19th.
There are pre-sessions on the 16th, and some of us will be attending pre-sessions on the 16th.
Any further discussion? All right. May I have a motion? I'm sorry, still discussion?
Who's actually attended the pre-session? Is it board members or staff members?
Both.
Because those you have to pay for in advance, right?
Correct.
Okay. Motion, please.
I move
Oh.
to.
Okay. Roll call.
Member Colwell?
Yes.
Member Krueger?
No.
Member Lee? Abstain. Member Newton?
Yes.
Vice President Guthrie?
Yes.
Member Gray? No. President Jenkins?
Yes. So motion carries. The November board meeting will be moved to November 9th. Next on the agenda, discussion for school year 2024 maintenance grant application.
The district will be applying for a $50,000 school maintenance match grant. We're working with our architects to complete the grant application. Last year's grant, we were able to put new bleachers into the gymnasium. This year's proposal will include painting the gym, removing the old tables out of the cafeteria, patching holes and painting, putting in new flooring in the kitchen area, shelving, and replacing a hot water heater. When you are applying for a school maintenance grant, you have, in order to be considered for the grant, we've selected items that are on our life safety survey list. So it tells school districts what are things that are deteriorating in your school. We've done a lot of renovation within the past year, and we're going to continue applying for the dollars to benefit the children. Information will be coming forward in the month of
This is just a discussion. Motion. All right, next on the agenda, discussion of the new resolutions. Ms. Guthrie, can you give us a little background?
I am the 111 Delegate Assembly District, and I would like to thank our board for electing me to represent our district at the Delegate Assembly. The Delegate Assembly meeting will occur during the III conference on Saturday, November 18th at 10:30. I would just like to remind our board members that we are 7 voices with 1 vote per resolution. You have a packet which is outlining the 5 resolutions. We're asking that you take a look through the packet, familiarize yourself with the information that is there, and on the meeting of the 9th, that we would come back together and that we would vote on the resolutions. There are 5 proposed resolutions. Now, I'd like to give you a little background on the resolution committee because it's unfamiliar to me also. What exactly are we voting for and where is this information going and how will it affect us? The procedures are conducted by a resolution committee and is based on Article 9, Section 1 through 7 of the IASB Constitution. This committee is made up of board members across the state, and they are presented with the resolutions they choose to call them position statements in various districts. All of the proposals are reviewed, and then they present a final draft of proposed resolutions to the membership, which is the districts. The advocacy core value of the committee is to support its membership and ensure a collective voice on the highest priority of issues and concerns. At the end of each one of the resolutions, you will find that the committee has offered suggestions of how we should vote. And there are some that say do not adopt, and there are some that say we should adopt them. It is entirely up to our board as we vote whether or not we agree or disagree. But again, reminding us we only have 1 voice, 1 vote. The delegates will vote for the election of officers in addition to adopting these position statements. These position statements reflect the interests of Board of Education boards across the state of Illinois. And the decisions that are made based on this assembly that we'll be attending will set the course for the IASB's legislative initiatives. And through this process, IASB member districts provide critical direction as IASB represents members' interests before state and national policymakers. Now, I would like to just kind of state the ones that we have one on industrial construction. And as you look through the proposals, you'll see the submitting district. And then there's a statement of resolution they're asking the committee to consider. And then there is a district rationale why they are proposing it. And then at the end of it, you'll see where the recommendations from the committee that analyzes the resolution, and then how they're suggesting that we should vote. And that's based on every one of them. So there's a board employee relations. And also you'll take at the end of the resolutions, you'll find research. So it seems that a lot of work went into making these proposals. How exactly they are selected by the committee, it isn't known to me. If you have any questions after having gone through them and you're making some decisions, you can contact me or you can contact the chair committee, and it's also a person that I could get you in touch with, or if you got that email, you should have that information. On October 31st, I will be attending a webinar based on information and what to expect at one of the meetings. So please review it and be prepared to discuss it, because we will vote, and that will be our final vote. We'll be taking it on the 9th of November to be presented on at the meeting on the 18th.
Thank you, Mrs. Guthrie. Any questions? Let's move on to the next agenda, industrial construction. Oh, I'm sorry, you know what? I'm sorry. There is an omission, and the omission in the agenda is public comment. So are there any comments from the public? You know what, is there a special mic, or does he come to the front?
You come up here.
Okay.
You could come up here.
Can everyone hear me?
I think you're gonna have to go to the front and I think a mic is necessary so
There's a
the
mic in
people
here.
online can hear you.
Hello, everyone. Again, my name is Nathan Wright. I'm with Excel, the etiquette company. I'm also with the Etiquette Foundation of Illinois. We've been at this business since 1995. It was started by my daughter, and I'm very, very pleased to be here again. We were at this school about 10 years ago, and we had a wonderful time with the students. One of the core values that is so essential to our success in this world is how to have good manners, how to be respectful, how to be polite, how to be courteous. These values are called etiquette. And I have so much stuff today, I didn't bring that fat book I had the last time. But if you have an etiquette book, you know what I'm talking about. It's essential for our young people to have an education in this value system. It's international. It's global. So I'm very pleased to be here to share just a few things with you, because this is Thanksgiving coming up, right? So what I have here, yes, thank you. What I have here, a little sample I want to give you. And on the other side are the answers. So you can make copies of it and share with your friends and see how well they do in terms of setting a table. Okay? It's not that complicated, but every student who graduated from this school should at least know how to do that, because Thanksgiving is coming up. In my day, our parents actually set the table, son, because they taught me how to set the table. Okay? And that's essential, because if you don't know how to set a table, you don't know how to dine. So if you want to be part of the upper class, where the money is, you're going to be going to restaurants and out to dine at very exclusive places. Maybe $200 for 2 people to dine. A bottle of wine is $75 or $80 if you've gone to those places, right? So we're here to show and educate your young people on this important social discipline. I won't take up too much of your time with other presentation. So if you don't mind, yes. These are letters of our districts and schools out here in the Southland. They have wrote us letters supporting our program. A letter from the mayor of Chicago Heights, a letter from the superintendent of 170, which is your associate, you know this gentleman. And so I wanted to share these letters with you, so that you would see that we do have support, okay? And some outstanding letters. You're going to be very impressed with those letters. The other thing we have been very successful at doing is creating this income and grade chart. And I think this is even more impressive. Now, we taught at Bloom Alternative School. Please call the principal. Her letter is in that package. She wanted this put in every classroom. She wanted this put in every classroom. So I would encourage you to give her a call, to get her input on how effective this year was in getting their students, these are alternatives kids students, the ones that get in trouble, right? And they go to the alternative school. So once we taught them this system, they got it. They connected with grades and income. And yes, we told them, if you're an AB student, you're gonna get some free money to go to college, right? But if you are a CD student, your parents are gonna have to pay for you to go to college, or you're gonna have to pay for it yourself. And there are millions of people in this country still paying their college loans off, right? That's what they're doing, paying it off. So if you want to be able to advance yourself, it's a simple process. There's a direct connection with your income and with your grades and how far you go in this world. An AB student's gonna get some free money to go to college. Their parents won't have to pay for it. So if you teach your child this system, then they will make the 2 + 2 is 4. And you're welcome. I can send you an updated copy here, but you're welcome to put it into your classroom. Hopefully we'll be here to teach this system to your students so that they can go places and do great things. Over at District 170, call him up. He'll tell you, our program is Lincoln Elementary. Who's familiar with Lincoln Elementary in Chicago Heights? Anyone? Lincoln Elementary is the school we taught at. Someone over here? Okay, were you in my class? It's been a few years. But we turned that school around. Now, if you want to get your students' grades up, I'll conclude. If you want to get your students' grades up 1 or 2 points, it's going to make a great deal of difference in how far they go. Okay? Well, I want to conclude with that. Thank you so much for your time.
And thank you for your time. Thank you. We have an announcement.
He's partnered with Mr. Wright, and as part of a grant, on Saturday, Mr. Wright is teaching an etiquette class for our students. Sunday, we have a spectacular day planned. They're going to first learn their etiquette training class. We're going to take our students to a very exclusive restaurant. We have a private room. We're going to Rosebud Steakhouse in DEERE, Indiana, and then as part of our field trip, we're going to see Black Violin. And it's about 2 African-American gentlemen who play the violin, and they learned how to play in a high school, and you don't see many minority students having those opportunities, but we're expanding those opportunities for our kids. So this Saturday, we're with him. Sunday, we're at the restaurant. Sunday evening, we have a wonderful evening plan. And now we have our updates from our phenomenal PTA members.
Good evening, board. I'll be brief.
Good evening.
These are the updates for October from the PTA. Currently, there are 98 paid members. Thank you, Dr. Null. Paid members of our PTA. Just to remind folks, you have to renew your registration every year. It doesn't carry over year to year. The registration cost is $5. 4 of that goes to National PTA. We only keep $1 of that. And you can see Anita or myself if you would like to sign up tonight. Our holiday catalog fundraiser was a great success. The PTA raised over $800 for our end of year fun fair. Excited about that. Our movie night for students in early childhood through 5th grade is scheduled for Friday, November 3rd from 6 to 8. Doors will open a little early at 5:30 so folks can get their concessions. We'll be playing the Super Mario Brothers movie, and the cost is $2 per person, and that includes popcorn. And the concession stand will be open for that event. We will also have a fall ball for students in grades 6 through 8, and that's scheduled for Friday, November 17th from 6 to 9. The cost is $5 per student and will include glow-in-the-dark accessories and a beverage. And the concession stand will also be open for that, ladies. We'll also be having our fall vendor fair Saturday, December 2nd, from 12 to 4 in the gym. So far, we have more than 20 vendors already having secured their spaces. And so far, we've got vendors that sell baked goods, candles, toys, jewelry. Lots of the vendors that participated in our last year's fall and spring vendor fairs will also be coming back for this one. So just in time for the holidays, save a little, money on the side to do a little shopping there at the vendor fair. And if you're, of any businesses that want to also secure a table, there is still space, and the cost is $25 per table. I should say per space, because we don't provide the table. You can rent those, so we have a few that are available for rent. We do want to extend thanks to the district, the board, and the staff for their support of the PTA as always. And the PTA is also seeking new members and volunteers for its events. So I know that there are some people in this room who shall remain nameless who haven't signed up for the PTA yet. So, you have an opportunity to do that. And our next general meeting will take place Wednesday, January 10th at 7 p.m. Thank you very much.
Quick question.
Yes.
So just some bragging rights.
Okay.
So you said 98 paid members.
Yes.
How many were last year?
We had 62 last year.
Okay.
62. So we've increased by like 1.5%.
That's worth
yes,
acknowledging.
Yes. And it's growing.
It's growing.
So we really would like to encourage more teachers and staff to participate. We probably have fewer than 10 of our nearly 100 members. So this is a parent, well, I shouldn't say parents, because we guardians, community members, but having the teachers involved too, because then we're better able to understand what the school needs are, what the classroom needs are, what the children's needs are, and having their input is, very helpful for that.
Last question for those of us who don't know, and I'm just one that doesn't. I might be the only one on the board that doesn't know. So for me, Can you tell me a little bit more about what happens at the fall ball?
The fall ball. So, ladies, listen up. We're going to have music, of course, so that the kids can dance, appropriate dancing only. And I know these ladies would only do appropriate dancing. They can wear whatever, fancy dress or outfit they'd like to wear, so long as it falls within the school handbook guidelines as far as appropriate dress. The concession stands will be open. Again, we'll have glow-in-the-dark accessories because it'll be a little dim in the gym, and that'll help, lighten it up, make it more festive. We'll also have a backdrop so that students can take pictures in front of that. And we are working to see if we can ourselves get the capability to print pictures for the kids so that they can take away a keepsake at the event.
Very good. That sounds very exciting. All of you guys are going, right? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
And we have one last announcement before we adjourn.
On November 9th, all of our teachers will be attending the board meeting. We have some really amazing news to share, but the information is embargoed. Sandridge is on the move. And yesterday, the Lady Wildcats, our gymnasium on a Wednesday was packed with, we're now into the girls basketball season, but we're going to do something really special at the November 9th board meeting. So get here early. We have a room for about 360 people, and we're hoping to share our good news at that time. And you're going to see a calendar, and it's going to be a countdown to some information that's going to change the school district forever. So can't wait for that good news to come.
All right. Before we close, I'd just like to thank the board members for keeping our time. We are now at 7:10, and this is exactly how I feel that efficient and effective board meeting should be run. And this is how I expect it to run going forward. I'd like to thank all of our guests, children, parents, community leaders, teachers, administrators, everyone for coming out. And I hope to see this room packed just the way it is now, the next board meeting. With that said, I think there's no motion to adjourn to close. We will not be having a closed session. So may I have a motion to adjourn the board meeting?
I move to adjourn the board.
Second. Okay, board member is adjourned. The board meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Do you want to make an announcement?
I'm sorry, on my, I thought I did hear a second. Who seconded the board meeting to be adjourned? I could have sworn that someone did, but I may have missed it. I thought I heard, I never been hearing things. Okay, okay, board member has been adjourned. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Secretary.
Anytime you come, bring a friend. Spring breaks are different, so I said, well, I'm not.